Local fisherman Matt Boyd is fishing in a secluded part of Lake Victoria, enjoying a bottle of beer. Suddenly he gets a bite, and while trying to reel it in, he accidentally drops his beer bottle into the water. When the bottle touches the bottom of the lake, an earthquake occurs, cracking the lake bed. This creates a whirlpool that slowly pulls Matt's boat while releasing thousands of prehistoric piranhas. Eventually, Matt falls out of the boat, and the swarm of hungry piranhas tastes human flesh for the first time. Meanwhile, in the nearby town experiencing a tourist boom due to a festival, many college students arrive to celebrate spring break. Jake Forrester is riding his scooter to pick up his younger sister Laura. On the way, he runs into his mother, Sheriff Julie Forrester, who is busy dealing with drunk students. Jake is captivated by the festive atmosphere and dreams of joining the fun like everyone else. Unexpectedly, his attention is drawn to a girl named Kelly. They talk briefly before Kelly's boyfriend shows up to take her away. Jake continues on his way and finds Laura talking to a famous actress from a website. The actress turns out to be friendly toward Laura. They are approached by director Derek Jones, who, learning that Jake is a local, asks him to act as a guide for filming content. Later that evening, Jake visits the same website and sees the actress. Suddenly, Julie walks into the room, reminding him that he has to look after his brother and sister. Meanwhile, Deputy Sheriff Fallon calls Julie to the old dock about Matt's disappearance. Julie learns that the U.S. Geological Survey recorded seismic activity beneath the lake and asks her to accompany a team of divers to investigate the epicenter. At the site, Julie finds Matt's empty boat among the reeds. She tries to lift it but falls into the water. When Julie resurfaces, she is horrified by Matthew's mutilated body. Julie suggests closing the lake until the cause of death is determined, but Fallon insists this is impossible due to the festival, which brings massive revenue to the town. The next morning, a young man who jumps off a cliff into the water becomes a victim of the piranhas. Instead of fulfilling his babysitting duties, Jake decides to join Derek's team, bribing his brother and sister to stay home. Meanwhile, a team of seismologists, led by Novak, begins loading their equipment onto Julie's patrol boat. Jake arrives at the dock and sees Derek, actresses Danny and Crystal, dancing on a yacht. Jake invites Kelly to join them. They sail to a spot where Danny and Crystal begin swimming in the lake, while Kelly relaxes on an inflatable ring. Jake notices Derek and cameraman Andrew filming the girls through the yacht's glass bottom. Shocked by their behavior, Jake is distracted by a call from his mother. Julie checks in to see if everything is okay since no one is answering at home. Jake lies, saying the kids are there, but then notices Kelly's inflatable ring is empty. Jake takes off his clothes and jumps into the water, but Kelly has already returned to the yacht and calls out to him, saying he missed the show. Meanwhile, Zane and Laura arrive at an island but fail to tie up their canoe, which floats away, leaving the kids stranded. At the same time, Julie and Novak's team arrive at the earthquake epicenter. Using a digital mapping device, Novak shows Julie the locations where the earthquake opened a passage to an underground lake. Paula and Sam dive to explore the fissure and report their status to Novak via radio. Since the passage is narrow and accommodates only one person at a time, Sam decides to enter first, while Paula remains at the entrance to maintain communication. Novak coordinates them using the mapping device, which also functions as a radar, showing their locations. Sam penetrates the passage and discovers it leads to a vast underwater lake. He sees something resembling a tall plant, which turns out to be a cluster of piranha eggs in large quantities. Removing his glove to touch it, Sam feels a bite, and his blood enters the water. He reports this to Paula and ignites a flare. To his horror, hundreds of hungry piranhas surround him, turning him into their prey. Paula calls out to Sam but hears only his screams. Novak quickly puts on a diving suit and descends to help. Paula tries to save Sam but becomes the next victim herself. Desperately trying to swim back, she makes it only to the entrance of the passage, where Novak grabs her and swims back. Julie pulls them out, but only Novak returns unscathed, as Paula's body is almost unrecognizable. They also retrieve a live piranha onto the boat. Unaware of the impending horrors, Derek's team continues filming scenes on the yacht. Derek invites Kelly to join their games, offering her alcohol. Meanwhile, Jake notices his brother and sister waving from the island, trying to get his attention. When he asks Derek to help rescue them, Derek initially refuses, but eventually agrees upon learning Jake's mom is the sheriff. Derek's yacht sets out to rescue the kids, but along the way, a girl flying on a parasail is attacked by piranhas, losing the lower half of her body. Meanwhile, the beach party is in full swing. Deputy Sheriff Taylor warns everyone to leave the water due to the danger, but the crowd ignores his warning. Only gunshots into the air grab their attention, but instead of heeding the orders, the students continue partying and jump into the water. Jake successfully retrieves his brother and sister from the island and scolds them. Derek insists on returning to the party, where a wet t-shirt contest has started. Laura notices fish swimming beneath them through the yacht's glass bottom, unaware that they are predators. Suddenly the yacht stops as weeds tangle the propellers. Derek takes the wheel, but the piranhas reach the party. The first victim of the piranhas sparks panic. People frantically try to escape, swimming to the shore or climbing to higher ground. Julie and Novak help evacuate people onto the patrol boat. Many seek refuge on a floating stage, but it becomes overloaded and capsizes, sending everyone into the predator's midst. Novak jumps off the patrol boat, grabs a jet ski, and rides out armed with a shotgun to save as many people as possible. Julie throws her stun gun into the water, electrocuting several piranhas and causing one to explode. Meanwhile, Derek restarts the yacht, but crashes into a rock, breaking its glass bottom. Water floods the lower deck, where Laura, Zane, and Kelly are trapped. The kids escape, but Kelly remains, climbing onto a countertop. Due to the impact, Derek, Crystal, and Andrew fall into the water. The piranhas instantly kill Crystal and Andrew. Derek tries to survive by clinging to Danny, who pulls him aboard. However, with him, she also pulls several piranhas which attack her. Kelly is still trapped under the deck with aggressive piranhas swimming around her. Jake speaks to her through the ceiling window, trying to find a way to save her. Back at the party, people are struggling to escape the water, with most suffering severe injuries. Fallon fights to protect the crowd, shooting piranhas with a shotgun. When he runs out of ammunition, he removes the motor from a speedboat and uses its propeller as a makeshift chainsaw. Ultimately, the piranhas overwhelm and devour him. Julie tends to the injured when she receives a call from Jake, who confesses he is on the yacht with his brother and sister. Julie panics upon learning the yacht is sinking. Determined to rescue them, she boards a speedboat, and Novak leaves his jet ski to assist her. Jake, Danny, and the kids are relieved to see Julie and Novak, as the yacht is stuck among rocks, preventing the speedboat from getting any closer. Novak grabs a rope and Julie throws one end of it to Jake, who ties it to the yacht's deck. Julie crosses the rope to reach the yacht. The family reunites, but Julie discovers that Kelly is still trapped below deck. The ceiling window is too small for her to escape. Julie decides to send everyone back to the boat and return for Kelly, but Jake insists on staying with her. He blames himself for allowing Kelly to come with them, putting her in danger. As the family returns to the boat, piranhas start leaping out of the water, trying to reach them. Due to the weight of 4 people, the rope dips into the water, allowing the piranhas to grab Danny's hair and pull her under. Zane and Laura make it to the boat safely, but the railing on the yacht's deck, to which the rope is tied, begins to weaken. Julie falls into the water, but luckily the detached rail jams against another barrier, and Novak tightens the rope, keeping Julie above the water. Jake unties the rope from the railing and ties it to himself. He retrieves Derek's body, which, surprisingly, is still alive. Jake throws the body into the water to distract the piranhas, giving him enough time to reach Kelly, who is overjoyed to be rescued. Jake asks Kelly to tie 2 signal flares together, while he releases gas from several tanks. Afterward, he tells her to count to 10 before they swim out. When the piranhas attack, Jake protects Kelly by holding her close. Meanwhile, Novak starts the boat and speeds off just as the signal flare ignites the leaking gas. The yacht explodes, killing all the nearby piranhas. The heroes stop at a safe distance, pulling Jake and Kelly out of the water. Goodman contacts Julie to deliver bad news. He has examined the piranha specimen and discovered they lack mature reproductive organs, meaning they are juveniles. He asks, "Where are the adults then?" At that moment, a giant piranha the size of a shark leaps out of the water and eats him. The end.